right, you guys. All right. Welcome to Midlife Marriage Magic with life coach and marriage strategist, Deborah Austin. Coming to you tonight a little later than normal, but we are here, we are here, we are here. So, Merry Christmas to everyone. Let me go ahead and let you see who's here. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And this is the beginning of our first of all, sorry. I'm so excited about my program that we're going to be doing that I haven't even bothered to share with you who I am, what I'm doing, what's going on. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm admiring my hat here. Um, Welcome to Midlife Marriage Magic with Deborah Austin. I am a life coach and marriage strategist, and I empower Black women to discover their truth and thrive while in a midlife marriage. And what I'm so excited about is that today I am sharing with you all my 12 days of Christmas love challenge. So, when I work with the women that I work with, my clients are women who are in midlife marriages, they're in the midlife age range. They may not have been married that long, but they are probably 40 plus, 50, 60 or so, and possibly could have been married, for about half of that time, half of their life, which I've been married for 38 years at this point. And yes, my husband 19, and the rest, as they say, is history. And so today I wanted to share with you all the program that I am starting. I've been sharing with you about it. If you've been following me, I've been sharing it, information about it on my Facebook channel and on my YouTube channel as well. So you may want to go back and watch some of the replays, but if not, I am going to recap everything for you here today. And it is my hope that you will actually be joining me. We're going to be starting tomorrow. So you will still have an opportunity to do a little bit of work, a little bit of the pre work, but in all sincerity, depending on what you decide to do, it will not be difficult for you at all to get quote unquote caught up, because really you're not behind. We're really just getting started. So, what am I talking about? What am I so excited about? Well, let me share that with you. It is called the 12 Days of Christmas Love Challenge. So, what is that? You might wonder. So, the 12 Days of Christmas Love Challenge is an opportunity for you to show your spouse some special love this Christmas season. And I am going to be sharing with you tonight the best ways that you can do that and provide you with some information on um, if you want suggestions on gifts and all that kind of thing. We're going to be covering all of it. So please, once you come in, let me know that you're here. Also, like and share and comment and all of those things so that others can get the benefit of this wonderful information that I'm going to be sharing with you. So let's go ahead and get into the 12 Days of Christmas Love Challenge. So, what it is, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more specifically, but you're going to, guys, you know what? Hold on. Let me check something real quickly because I thought I had made an adjustment in. Okay, no, I didn't. This is fine. All right. Okay, let me get back to where you are. All right. So, if you're not familiar with what the five love languages are, when you scan here, and I will give this a full screen so that you can see the whole thing. But if you scan there, then you can go and take the love languages quiz, and that will allow you to determine your love language. If you share it with your spouse, then they can take it as well. And then the two of you will know what each other's love language is, and that will enable you to, excuse me, enable you to more effectively show your love. So I wanted to go ahead and give you that. And while I am actually taking a sip because my throat is, for whatever reason, itching, go ahead and go there if you have not already done this. If you have done this, then you can, then you're already ready. So you already know what your spouse's love language is, and yours as well. So once you go to get what your love language is, I wanted to share this with you guys because this was so um interesting to me. I took this love language quiz several years ago. And this is also why I encourage you to go ahead and do it again, even if you've done it before, to go ahead and take it again because we change. As a midlife wife, my priorities are different than they were when I was 25, 30, 35 years old. At this age, now I am in my 60s. It is, things, it's different. It's different for me. And so I did not realize how different it was until I took the quiz. Um, I think I took it a couple of days ago. So technically it was last week. So when I took it the first time, it shows here that my love language then was physical touch. When I took it last week, it says that my primary love language is um, acts of service. And I can relate to that. I can because, I think the more that you have been with someone, you tend to get more comfortable. You may not need that as much, but just even as a person, as I have gotten older, I'm not as touchy feely as I used to be. So then the physical touch is not the first one, but it's still right up there, close to the top. But I just wanted to let you all see that so that you can see how important it is to go ahead and take the love language quiz, even if you have taken it before, but as I said, you're a different person now. And that actually is one of the things that I work with the women who are my clients, because it is so important for you to know who you are now. Who are you now? That's a question that I always ask them, because I am not, I know, I mean, I am way different from the person that I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, even a year ago. We are constantly in a state of change, and some things change permanently, some will go, you may change to be one way for a while, and then based on circumstances you actually go back to how maybe you used to be, or maybe you don't. But the point is that we are all in a constant state of change, and so it's important for us to recognize who we are at this stage so that we can better do what we need to do for us. All right. So, looking at the 12 Days of Christmas Love Challenge, what is it? So, I'm going to share that with you. How it works. So, beginning on December the 12th, you will give your spouse a gift every day for the next 12 days. I don't include the Christmas Day, so that one is left out for you to do as you like for that day. But the challenge is to get you to be consistent with showing your spouse your love and ultimately increasing your intimacy between the two of you. Being when you are married, it is important that you stay connected. And sometimes during this, especially during this time of year when we are busy, if you have kids, if you've all your years been focusing on what the kids need at this time of the year, and maybe you are empty nesters this Christmas and you haven't, been comfortable just with the two of you. So this would be some way to kind of open some doors and, um, you know, make you a little more comfortable with each other, even though you've been married for a long time. And I know that may sound odd, but if it is not something that you've been doing, it may be a little difficult to do. So I wanted to just share that with you and let you know that it's okay. It's normal. It happens to everyone. Well, a lot of people. I can't say, I'm not going to make it an absolute, but it does happen to quite a lot of people, that even if it's not that you're an empty nesters, it might be that you are home with each other. You both retired. You are you just in the house a lot with each other. And that's not something that you've been used to. Even if your kids were gone, you were both probably still working. And now you've both retired. You may have even relocated. My husband and I relocated. We retired, we relocated. Our children are gone. But we are trying to make sure that we are intentional in our efforts to maintain our marriage. Hold on. I don't know why my throat is so itchy today. I think this heat, that lamp, dries it out. But anyway, so if you are familiar with the song, The 12 Days of Christmas, it says, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. Well, we are not going to go exactly along with what the song says. So for us, we are going to include really whatever we'd like. There is no mandatory matching up the number of gifts to the number that we're on. So, for example, if we are on the seventh day of Christmas, you don't have to give 7 gifts. Now, if you want to give 7 gifts, you can. But there is, it's a very simple way that you can show your spouse that you love them and provide them with a note. But I'm getting into the specific gifts, but I'll share more about that in a minute, but I just want to give you an idea of how it's going to work. So on the 12th, for the next 12 days, you're going to give gifts. And those gifts can be as inexpensive or as expensive as you would like them to be. However, please recognize this is not intended to be anything that's going to be costly. It doesn't have to cost you money at all. It could be, you can make it as simple as you would like it. So let's get into that. So for the gift, as I was saying, your gift could be something as simple as 12 handwritten cards of special memories. Think about the last, over the last 20 years, pick out 12 specific memories that are special, that are good, that make you feel happy, that that your spouse will connect with, and write it on a postcard. Get a piece of paper, fold it in half, write it on there, use a red marker, hang it up with some red ribbon, put some tape on it, number it 1 through 12. You got 12 gifts. That is a very simple way that you could start out. You could do something like this. I have in the past used, I go, to the drugstore, whatever, and get some little cards that might be, they come in a box. So you can get several of them. And this one had 16 cards and envelopes. So I only needed 12. But I didn't use all of the same ones. I have different ones. Like here's another one that I have. This is actually one that I used. And on this one, I'll share about this one in a minute. But those are just some examples of things that you could do. It's very inexpensive, but yet it is very meaningful. So you can, that's what I was going to say about the sealing one in an envelope. What I did with this kind of falls into the random placement idea, and I'll share about that in just a minute. But I had I want to say the 5th day of Christmas, I had 5 cards. Like this is number 4. And so I had random cards, just, a little simple card. And I wrote inside the card what I loved about my husband. And this says, with best wishes for Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's what was printed inside. And then I wrote, I love when you keep touch with my daddy, making sure he's okay. My mom passed away about 3 years ago. And so, they were married for a very, very, very long time. And she's not there, and that is impactful in your life when you are a senior citizen. And now he doesn't live alone. My brother does live with him, but just knowing that people that are not there think about you and connect with you is important. And so for me, my husband also does that without me. I never asked him to do that, but he and my dad have a good relationship, and he cares about him as much as I do. So he checks on him on his own, and I appreciate that. So you and your spouse may have something that one of you does for the other that is meaningful, just like that. That doesn't cost any money to write that down and tell someone that. So you could do 12 of them, different things that they have done over, it could be over this year, or it could be over the last week, it could be whenever. And let them know that you appreciate that. Sometimes, and depending on what their love language is, and we're going to talk about that too, sometimes it's important just to share what you are thinking and what you are feeling. So there are a lot of other ways that you can implement the challenge. So these are some gift ideas that you could do. Make a list of things that you love about them. Remember your history together. In this day and age, a lot of us have printers. You got photo paper. You can go back and print out some pictures from things that you all have done together and put them in some small frames. 12 of them. There you go. Activities, you can plan an evening drive to enjoy the Christmas lights. You can plan an evening watching Christmas movies, um, whatever, putting a puzzle together. Short activities, you all can dance under the mistletoe. That can be one thing. So as you can see, these are a lot of little short, quick ideas, inexpensive, free, that you can do, that are meaningful and that are impactful to your relationship. Give the gift of giving. You all can complete a service project together, go to a homeless shelter and help that day. Make it meaningful. Write out 12 memories in commemoration of several times together. This one I did of 42 Christmases that we've had together, because we've been married for 38 years, and um, we dated for 4 years before we got married. So that's how long we've been together. And also, maybe a coupon for a massage or something else special that is only from you. So these are just some ideas to give you some to get you going. All right, so the delivery. You can present the 12 Days of Christmas of challenge any kind of way. Like I said, a ribbon on the wall in your room. Just think about a wide red ribbon. You may have that, you may not. If you don't, you can use thumbtacks. You can put them up on the wall. You use tape. There's a lot of ways that you could display them. You can even get sparkly clothespins. Just a lot of different ways to attach the love notes. You can, for your delivery ideas, create a designated space. And I will share some images of um, the designated space that I had placed for my husband, that um, that's where I put his gift every day. So by 7 o'clock p.m., the gift is there. Now, depending on what the gift is, you may need to have your gift earlier during the day. But of course, you would let them know about that. So, for example, if the gift was for you to go on a drive to look at Christmas lights, then they would need to know that ahead of time, not at 7 o'clock if you're gonna leave at 7, or if you leave, depending on what time it gets dark and all that. But it's there are some that you may have to change the time on, but that also adds to the excitement. And trust me, they get excited. So you could have a designated space. You could use random places like I did where I was sharing with the card. You can put that in, I put for that one, there were five of them. He actually found all but one of them. He found this one. That's why I actually do have it nearby. He found this one last week, a few days ago. It was so funny. But clearly he hadn't had it since last December. I stuck it somewhere. I want to say it was among some sweaters that he was putting up. But at any rate, he did not find it until last week, which, that was a surprise for him and a surprise for me. So gave us something to talk about. There you go, connection. So see, that's kind of how it can work. And then the last delivery idea that I have for you is a scavenger hunt. So with a scavenger hunt, you use clues to let them know where the next one is. So, for example, you might say, "Roses are red, violets are blue. Look in your glove compartment. There's something special for you." Something like that. And then in there, there's a gift, and then they would have some clue to start there, or where to start for the next day. That's how that could work. So I hope that these are making sense to you. If you are watching on the replay, please let me know that you're watching on the replay, and also drop your ideas. So let me keep going so that I can give you all the information that you want to get. So here is the presentation actually that I do for my husband. So the middle here, over here is like kind of what it looks like when it's finished. I took, this is kind of the same image a little closer together, but the bottom is a mirrored glass runner. Um, it's a table runner, mirrored, but it has three pieces. But right there, I'm only using one of the pieces. But it inside of the bag is a letter, and I actually am going to be sharing that letter. I need to create a link for it and drop it in. Let me make a note so that I don't forget, because I did want to do that. So I want to create the link. Okay. But yeah, so you can use whatever kind of decorations that you'd like right there. I've just got some ribbon and some candy canes. It's not even real, it's plastic. But and a red gift bag. And that is also a piece of red felt, but a red ribbon. I got some little greenery, but that's how you can set yours up, or not. You don't even have to have a place to set up. All right, so what is the challenge? The challenge aspect of it is for you to post daily. Share your thoughts and ideas in the group, post pictures because we want to see. So that's as simple as it is. Now, so today I want to share with you a little bit, and I'm not going to cover each one extensively, but I want to share with you three concepts regarding each of the love languages. So, speaking the language, actions to take, actions to avoid, and provide some inexpensive and very doable gift ideas. So let's start with the first love language of words of affirmation. So this is the primary love language for people who it's important for them to hear specific things. It's important for you to talk to them and tell them the reasons that they are in your life. So, how do you speak the language to them? Offer encouragement, be affirming, and be an active listener. Tell them that you appreciate how they've been a wonderful father, or tell them that you appreciate something that they did that day that they don't normally do, or, just whatever. It's hearing it and knowing that they're being appreciated. So, these are some actions that you can take: unexpected cards and texts. You can make sure that when you are engaging in conversation with them, that you put your cell phone away. So let me give y'all a little bit of me over here. Oh, that's not a good place. Let's try. Okay, I think that's better. That way you can see who's chit chatting with you. All right, so what types of actions do you want to avoid if you are if your spouse's love language is words of affirmation? Well, you don't want to criticize. You don't want negative, non-constructive criticism. There's a difference if you are being helpful, and there's a way to do that. But making sure that you don't cut your spouse off in conversation, that's important as well. So that's an action that you can avoid. So these are three ways that you can best love your spouse and best show your spouse love if their love language is words of affirmation. So I'm going to do this for each of the love languages. And real quickly are a few gifts here. You can do a screenshot if you want to grasp them. Create an affirmation jar, which is where you put in things that they want or compliments about them so that they can pick them out and read them and it lifts them up. You can just use a mason jar, decorate it a little bit, add in some little strips of paper with what you wanted to share with your spouse. Put them in there, give it to them, put a ribbon around it. There you go. They can pick it out whenever they like. Or you can create a word cloud. There's a website called, I believe it's actually wordcloud.com. I have to come back and give that to you all in the comments. But you can just copy, you can paste in a bunch of words like your spouse's name and a bunch of other things about them. And then you can see the words come to, it makes it a word cloud. And you can even put it in different shapes and then you can print that out. So I need to give you all the word cloud link or write a letter. Same thing, write a letter to your spouse and have it made into a photo word portrait. That would be interesting as well. I have to find that website because I haven't seen that in a while. I remember doing it, but I don't recall what the website is and I haven't seen it in a while. You know, sometimes those things change. So I'll check that one out too. Also, there are some personalized books that you can order online that say all the reasons I love you. A very sweet gift with words of affirmation that they would definitely appreciate. All right. So, what if your spouse's love language is acts of service? That means, and that one was mine, that is now my top one, that having someone to help you and do things for you, filling up your gas tank, cooking a meal, or like when you cook, they do the dishes, it involves them helping in a way other than a monetary gift. So, what are the three ways that we're going to look at for acts of service? So, again, speaking the language, actions to take, and actions to avoid. So, in speaking the language, let them know that you're connected to them. Say something like, what can I do to help you with so and so? You know, they got a lot of things going. You can do something. There's something in the different categories. There may be one, what can I do for you? What can I do to make this easier? What can I do that will take that off your mind? It means a lot to someone whose love language is acts of service. Or for actions to take, breakfast in bed, because that's showing that you are doing something for them. Make or create something for them, especially with them in mind. Avoid empty promises or no follow through or prioritizing other people before your spouse. Acts of service. Gift ideas. What are some things that you can do? I kind of already gave you a few of those. Plan a date night and serve them where you are doing everything. If your spouse has learned that that's your love language, that's something that they can do for you. Because when you learn someone's love language, you tend to give in your own love language. But once you learn someone else's, it's important to give and do in their love language. I remember when my husband and I used to teach a Bible study class. It was called Making Our Marriage Work. And one of the things that we talked about was with the love languages is that it's kind of similar to someone, let's say your spouse was speaking to you and telling you all the wonderful things and doing everything for you in Spanish, but you didn't speak Spanish. It wasn't your language at all. You didn't understand a lot of what was being said. And so everything was not being received. Everything that was being given was not being received. And so you didn't feel as whole. Your spouse didn't feel like you were receiving it. It was felt on both sides. It works just like this. This is very similar. So hopefully that helps you to understand how important it is to know your spouse's love language and also to um, speak to them in it once you learn what it is. And these are some more gift ideas: a cleaning service. If you are looking for a gift for your spouse who loves acts of services, that will be a wonderful gift to them, as long as they're not offended by it. Because some people will be like, I ain't want anybody coming in my house, blah blah, this, that, and the other. You know how we are. But check with them ahead of time, let them know that this is what you would like to do for them, and even get some input from them. But them knowing that that's what you want to do means a lot. All right. So the next one is receiving gifts. So people who value gift giving, it's not just about them getting a gift, and it's not just about, the material possession. It's about like how you respond when they give you a gift, even because it's important to them. So they will spend a lot of time in a store picking a gift, picking a card. And then when they give it to you, you're like, oh, thanks, and it's not a heartfelt thank you. That is meaningful to them just as much as you thinking about them and getting them a gift, or even more, making a gift for them. So someone whose love language is receiving gifts, you want to make them a priority and demonstrate thoughtfulness. Actions to take would be to give thoughtful gifts and gestures that reflect your spouse. Remember and recognize special dates and occasions. And as I said earlier, when they give you something, express gratitude for the gifts that have been provided to you. And so the action to avoid would definitely be not recognizing and forgetting special dates. So you want to be very enthusiastic when you are receiving gifts, and you don't want to give meaningless or thoughtless gifts because they will feel that. So what are some gift ideas for someone whose love language is gifts or receiving gifts? um well, it's not just receiving gifts, but I mean it kind of is, but I mean that's what they call it. But like I said, it's also important when they give a gift. So, flowers for no reason, a surprise bottle of wine, yes and yes. But even like for this challenge, you could give, you know, you could buy, if your spouse has 12 different types of candy that they like, you can buy one for each day. And then that's it. You can write a little note with it. Why did you buy that particular kind of candy for them? What made them think about it? What about it made you think about them? Yeah, easy for me to say, right? But yeah, so that would be a good idea as well. All right, for someone whose love language is quality time, generally they do not want you to be distracted when you are around them. They don't want your phone out. They want you to be focused on them. They want you to um, let them know that they matter to you, that you have not forgotten them, and that the time with them, you value it just like they do. So, what are the three things that we want to look at? Speaking the language, actions to take, and actions to avoid. So, you want to have one on one time with them. That is very important. Uninterrupted and focused. Like I said, put your phone away. And that is actually an action to take. Put your phone away, but you could create special memories and special times. So do long walks or weekend getaways. A long walk could be one of the gifts. If that's not something that you all have been doing, one of the things that you may like to do is, or that you might do for a gift, is say, on this Saturday, we're going to get up and go for early walk in the morning or in the evening, but put that down as one of your gifts. And so, what actions do you want to avoid? You want to avoid being distracted and spending long periods of time apart. So, what are some gift ideas? Some of them I've already mentioned. You could do something as interesting as taking an online cooking class with your spouse follow a YouTube, video because it's free. You could do a date jar, with ideas that you and your spouse can come up with. One of the intimacy igniters that I mentioned on my website and my on my Facebook page is for you to create a bucket list. And that one was particular to the fall season, but you can create a bucket list for the month of December or for the next year or when, any time frame. You could like I said, plan a road trip. That's something that my husband and I love doing. We love taking road trips. We like riding in cars. You could do a puzzle together, any of these things. And hopefully you've been taking screenshots for any of um, the slides that were of particular interest to you, or whichever one that falls under the category of you and your spouse's love language. And so the last love language is physical touch. This means that you prefer physical expressions of love. And physical touch is not only about sex, it can be just, a hug, a shoulder squeeze, holding hands, just even, a gentle pat on the back when you walk by. When my husband and I mentioned that we do road trips, well, sometimes when we're riding along in the car, I just rest my hand on his thigh. It's no words, no talking, no sex happening. We just, enjoying the ride, enjoying the time together, and connecting. And so that is one of the ways that we are able to share and express physical touch, because that is his number one love language. Okay, so now I have covered all five of them. I've covered a way for you to for each of them, way to speak the language, action to take, and actions to avoid. So, the 12 Days of Christmas Love Challenge officially begins tomorrow. Now, what happens when you click on the link? And I am going to share that with you. Let me see here. I thought I already had it. I've been doing some work. I don't think I do, but I do know one other place to get it. Hmm. But yes, I'm going to put this into the comments for you. So, what's going to happen once you click on the link to take the challenge, then you will be provided a thank you from me, and that will allow you to um, click on the link to join the Facebook group, because the challenge itself was going to take place inside of my Facebook group, because I feel like it's a little bit intimate once we get going. Now, all of the leading up to it, with me giving you suggestions and everything, that was not as intimate as you all having the opportunity to um, just learn about it as I'm going along. So once people are actually sharing what they're going to be doing, it's a little more intimate. And so I would like for you all to um, join the Facebook group so that we can have a little more intimate conversation around that. So, as I said, when you click on the link, it's going to take you to a page where you can join the Facebook group, and then we'll post there. And I may be posting some things on my Facebook page just, to try to pull some more people in, because it's so much fun. And I hate for you all to miss out. And somebody may have said, oh, I want to do that. And then they forgot about it. And then they see it come up again. And that's their reminder. So I will be doing that as well. But I do want to encourage you to go ahead and join the 12 Days of Christmas Love Challenge. I have even made it easy for you here. If you have your phone in hand, you can scan this QR code and it will take you to that same link where you will receive the information on joining the Facebook group to participate. So, thank you again for being here tonight for my midlife marriage magic, and I will see you next week. Let me see my all right, here we go. All right, you guys. So thank you again for being here tonight. And I hope to see you again on next week for Midlife Marriage Magic with your host, life coach and marriage strategist, Deborah Austin. Take care and have a wonderful week.